Hi, welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, I'm super excited. I finally hunted down a car that I've been after for quite a while. It's been an expensive month with this. And the new Arrma Senton 6S. But before we jump into looking at that, why I'm so excited for it, well, there's always been a bit of a compromise when you get RCs. Do you go bigger scale, which gives you the benefits of it can go over rough terrain, it's got a bit more weight to it, so it kind of handles better. It looks amazing. The downsides to it, oh, also very tough, but the downsides to it is storage, lugging it in and out of the car. But what's so special about the Arrma 6S, I hear you cry? Well, in this episode, we're going to find out. A massive thanks to Hobby King for sponsoring this video and for supplying the batteries that I'm going to need to test this out. Yep, I finally got one. I've been looking for one of these for quite a while now, and I almost bought one and then I lost it. I didn't win that one. So I've been hunting around. There is a few that pop up, but some of them are quite rough. But trying to find the best one you can for the best money is a bit tricky, especially in the UK. But this one came with a load of parts, which we'll go into in a minute. But the car itself now, it did come with two bodies, luckily, because the first body is pretty much finished. Anything really worth keeping off this is probably these body mounts. They're actually branded, they're the Arrma ones, they're the correct ones. So I might cut them out and keep them to put them on another body. As if I buy a replacement body, I don't know if you actually get these. Probably not. But apart from that, it's pretty much toast. Then we have the actual car itself, and it's pretty dinky for what it is. So there you go, the Arrma Senton 6S. Now this isn't the first version. I went off and I did a bit of research, and I really enjoy getting into cars and then digging into them, the research about them and the history of them. And there's three versions of the Senton 6S. So the first version that came out, completely different graphics of the body. Not overly sold on that blue, white and red. After the first Senton 6S version 1 body, they then improved it quite a bit by going with this black and green livery. Before they then did the one that we know more now, which is the version 3. The aggressiveness of the body kind of suits what it is. But the big one for me was obviously the body change to this body. And this body will happily fit on another Senton, and you can put Senton bodies on this. The difference is that this body is way thicker, and it's also vented, which is a really nice touch, and I'd like to see more of that on other Sentons. You've got loads more venting to stop it from parachuting when it jumps, and when you're running 6S, you kind of need a bit more venting. Otherwise, and being that it's such a short wheelbase, 6S, especially on tarmac, it's going to be a bit of a handful. Now what Arrma did, they also took a lot of the 8 scale and pushed it into this. I really like that. Nice example, it's got 17mm nuts on the wheels, but the main thing about it is just so bonkers is just how much power they packed into a pretty small form factor. Just to let you know, I'm doing a totally free raffle for a Jun Watanabe Tamiya. Yeah, you could be in with a chance to win one for absolutely nothing. It's one free ticket per person and you can't buy others, so everyone's going to have the same odds. So I'll put a link in the description. Also, I'll put a fancy dancy barcode up here that you can use your camera phone to go straight to it, but if you Google RCKicks raffles, you'll also find it as well. There's two other raffles also running. One is for a Cougar Works new inbox. That's a tasty bit of kit. If you want to go vintage racing, that's definitely the one you want to enter. Also for the Team Associated fans, the RC10 Brian Kinwald that's coming out, you can be given the chance to win one of those. So what are you waiting for? Well, the end of the video, obviously. To put it into a visual representation for you, if you've never actually seen one of these, or a Senton, this is my UDR. So there you go. That's the difference in size. And they both run 6S. Now this is geared out the box with the 14 tooth pinion, so it's very undergeared, but if you upgrade the pinion, go a bit bigger, this thing turns into an absolute rocket. Arrma kind of replaced the 6S Senton with the Mojave. I dug out my four-wheel drive Senton. It's got an aftermarket body on it, but we'll have a look and compare the two as they're vastly different. So let's just take the bodies off and have a look, and you'll see just how different this is. Now this one has had the Shoo-Hoo glue and the old drywall tape on it. Looks a bit awful on camera, but actually it really adds a bit of strength to what is already a strong body. So here we have the two cars. This is a Senton 3S, I think it is, if I remember rightly, and then we have the 6S. So the first thing that jumps out completely is the whole protective tree that sits in the middle of it for the body. So you've got side Nerf bars. Then you've got a whole top tree that comes up and sits basically right in the body, so that when it takes a big hit, it's all supported. We'll start from the front and work our way back between the two. First thing you can see is a huge, great big bumper. It's like double size, and an additional one where the normal one is much smaller. Then we move on to the front, and the first thing you can see is the towers. Now these are upgraded towers, these have got alloy towers, but you can see just how big they are. Also the shocks, these are massive, and obviously these are all metal shocks. There is so much difference. And also from a time point of view, this is way before this one. So this has been beefed up more so to try and meet the kind of expectations of what people are seeing. But if you go all the way back to when this came out, it shows you just how crazy it was between the two. So like if we turn it over and look at the size of the arms, that's the arm on the new one, and then that's the arm. Absolutely massive. The actual chassis, full plastic chassis on this one. That's got a protector on it I just put in recently. This has an alloy center chassis with plastic sides on it, but the arms are monstrously big. The servo that's in this one has been replaced. This I'm not sure much about this servo. I'll have a look if there's any information I can find on it. I'll put it up on the screen, but normally there's a red metal gear servo that goes in here. Then we've got the 6S BLX 150 amp ESC. That's a BLX 185. Then we've got the huge, great big 2050 kV BLX motor on it. I'm surprised there's no fan with that. This one has got two upgraded chassis braces. Also, these two have been changed. These should be red normally. And then there's got this little alloy bit here, which is definitely an upgrade part that goes all the way through underneath. And then we have a rear tower again that's in metal. Whereas if we look at the plastic all the way through and how much more flimsy the towers are versus this one. Turnbuckles around, obviously. This one has a center diff in the middle, as you would kind of expect on something that's running 6S power. Shocks are absolutely huge, but this is all plastic all the way through, obviously. And these ones are metal. Rims and tyres. I have got all new rims and tyres coming. These should be red on this one, and they're quite worn out there. So I've bought new wheels, new tyres, new 17mm nuts, and the actual hub, because these are all damaged. So I've got new ones of those, so that'll look nice when it's done. So to get 6S in this, what they actually did, and it fits perfectly, I've got my two batteries here, but they don't fit in like this way. They actually fit one on top of the other, and then you have it in here. There's 2 straps, and then this section lifts up, and then you put in the 2 batteries, and then you push that down, and then you lock it down. So it holds them in quite tight. As you can see, this one has had some good use, so it needs to be restored a little bit. I did find one piece of damage that wasn't on it when I bought it, that I was told about, and that's this section here is actually being fixed. But if you flex it, I don't know if you can see this, there's actually another crack in it, so it's failing already. These have been upgraded to alloy pins on the rear, but not the front, which is kind of strange. I managed to get hold of one of these as well, so that's coming, and that replaces it. Also, this car comes with a few parts. So these are the parts that I actually got that came with it. So I've got a set of arms, they're the lower ones. Absolutely bonkers. For a 1/10, that is insane. Then I've got another set of arms, front, lower. And then we've got some top arms as well. And then I've got some dog bones, which is good because I think the ones that are actually in the car are a little bit rusty, so need a bit of love, so I will swap them out as well. Then we've got some bumper parts, front ones, a load of used parts. Then we've got some turnbuckles, steering turnbuckles I think, and then we've got an aluminium servo saver. So this car's definitely had a lot of work done to it. It's been kind of semi-restored, but it still needs a lot of love. So my plan is I'm going to go and take it and drive it and enjoy it for a while I slowly get all the parts in to restore it, because it's going to be quite expensive to restore this back to being a mint shelf queen again. But of course, the minute I do that, then it's just going to end up being on the shelf. But I want to drive it and I want to enjoy it before we do a full tear down, full restoration on it. So I think that pretty much covers everything. So let's take it out for a bit of a blast and see how it performs. It flies, doesn't it? Oh. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. What's my review and my thoughts on the 6S Senton after spending a bit of time giving it some stick? It's fast. Very fast, especially in straight lines. This thing absolutely rips, and I've only got the 14 tooth stock pinion in it. Definitely needs a little bit more, and then it'll have even longer legs. The problem with this, and I kind of understand why you can't get any good ones, is it just wants to kill itself and take you with it. It really is that bat crazy. The thing is so fast. You'll never crash this slowly. It just hurtles across the field. On the camera, it doesn't really come across just how fast this thing is moving. And being that it's quite small, it shifts. It absolutely flies. If you saw that where I crashed and I flipped over, and that is why I think there's hardly any of them left in good condition. Even taking this out once since I got it, it just wants to destroy itself. Also, the steering is not pin sharp either, so you've got to be really careful. Otherwise, it just wants to run you over as well. So totally bat crazy. So do I recommend if you can get one of these? Yes. If you can find one of these, I think these are just going to become more and more of a classic because it's got a lot going for it. There's hardly any of them around that are in good condition. It's just packed full of power. Also, Arrma spent time reinforcing everything, so it's not just like they took a normal Senton and just threw some power in it. They actually went to a lot of trouble to improve everything. The best one is definitely this one, which is the 3rd version. I haven't actually seen any of the earlier ones. I think the first one, version 1, the one that I don't like with the blue and the red, has some issues with electronics. And then the second one got the same electronics as this, and then this one got slightly updated and it's got the anti-roll bars and stuff like that. So this is definitely the one to go for, and the body on it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this kind of matte sort of dark grey with the little pin green in it. It kind of suits the moodiness of just how crazy this thing is, where the other ones are a bit cutesy, where this is not a cutesy car. This one, it is quite loud. Being that it's got metal gears all the way through, it is quite clattery. So obviously in the future video, there's going to be another video where I'm going to take it to the skate park, as at the moment it's Saturday, so there's no way I can take this to the skate park. It'd be just full of too many kids. So in the next video in this one, I'm going to take it to the skate park first, just to see what it's like sliding around on the tarmac there. And then I'm going to do a restoration on it. So I've started collecting all the parts for it, bits and pieces, and over the next couple of weeks, hopefully I'll have a bit more RC tokens to spend on it, so I can get a few more bits and pieces before bringing it back on the show and then trying to restore it to a, not shelf queen, but to a lot better. This is going to be an ongoing process, but I want to service the shocks, I want to service the diffs and the drive line and give it a good clean. And then I haven't decided whether I'm going to replace the chassis for a stock one or spend twice as much and get a titanium one. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But yes, do I like it? Yes. Is it mental? Oh yes. Should you get one? If you can find one, you need one. Thanks very much. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye bye.